Zdeno Chara was honored before the Boston Bruins game against the Arizona Coyotes here at TD Garden on Saturday afternoon for the incredible accomplishment of playing in 1,500 NHL games. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Mike Petraglia. Zdeno Chara's legacy is one that's definitely talked about a lot in Boston, but maybe not enough because 1,000 of those games were played here for the Boston Bruins in a really amazing tribute put together by the organization on Saturday afternoon.
Really, what came across to me about it, Sierra, is how humble he was, and he didn't speak. He did not address the fans.
Yeah.
And after the game, he said a big part of that was because I just wanted to play the game and let my game speak for itself. And that's the way he has always been. That is one of the reasons he's an ideal captain of the Boston Bruins. I think early on in his time here with the Bruins in the late 2000s, people questioned whether or not this team was headed in the right direction and whether or not Zdeno Chara was a vocal enough leader. Certainly, since the Bruins won the Stanley Cup in 2011 and two more Cup appearances after that, those doubts have been put to rest, obviously. And what really is amazing to me is what he said after the game. I'm just a small piece of the puzzle because there are so many great, incredible was the word he used after the game, Bruins players that had come before me. He understands his part in history with this original six franchise.
Absolutely. And also, Zdeno Chara was a tribute was played by a lot of other players around the NHL, a lot of other captains on other teams. He was like, I get into it a lot on the ice, but we all have immense amount of respect for each other off the ice, and there's no doubt that these Bruins have an immense amount of respect for Zdeno Chara because he's been the rock of this team. But obviously with this celebration of how long he's been in the league, there comes the inevitable question of when's it going to come to an end. But I honestly believed him when we were in the dressing room after the game when he said, I really haven't thought about it.
Kevin Paul DuPont of the Boston Globe asked that question directly because he asked the previous question about his place in Boston Bruins history. And then he said, well, obviously, I got to ask you how much longer. And like the Tom Brady question, and they're both the same age, and there are a lot of parallels in this town between the two athletes. Zdeno Chara said, look, I haven't really addressed that situation, and I'm not thinking about that situation. However, the one thing I did find interesting, Sierra, was him saying, this team has other priorities besides mine, other players they need to sign besides me, which is very much the opposite of the Tom Brady situation right now. And very interesting that Chara said that, look, the team has to take care of signing other players before they take care of me. Again, very selfless Zdeno Chara after the game here on Saturday.
Well, Chara will remain to be the rock on this Bruins defense as they make their push towards the playoffs. But for all the rest of our Bruins coverage, head over to our website at clnsmedia.com.